If you want to start skating but are afraid that you're too old, then this video is for you.
Skate lessons for grown-ups who wanna be cool
with Skate Daddies.
Hi, my name's Keith. I'm a skateboard instructor. I've been skating for 50 years now, and today, from the very beginning, I'm going to teach Daniel, who's mainly been working with electric boards all of his life, how to skate.
I have some longboarding experience, but I've never really ridden a popsicle style skateboard, so I'm gonna learn from
the master. I started skating in 1973 when skateboarding first hit the UK from the US. We built our own boards from very, very basic bits of wood, took a roller skate apart, put a truck on either side, made a skateboard before the big skateboards came over from California, where we all bought them straight away. But today what I'm going to do is try and explain to you from the very beginning, before you've even ever got on a board. Within an hour I can teach you how to do turning, jumping on the board, getting off the board, being confident getting on and off, which is very important. And the real basics, just to get you started, to get you confident on the board. Confidence is key.
Safety first!
When you're just starting out, it's not super important what exact gear you have. For example, I'm just gonna wear a moped helmet because that's what I happen to have right now. If you just have a bicycle helmet, that's fine too. You can get a skate helmet later. At the beginning, I think bicycle gloves are fine. Later on, you wanna switch to something else. These are not bicycle gloves. These actually let you slide a bit. Use what you have first.
Elbow and knee pads, obviously, make sure you get the right and left because it's important how they sit and make sure they're not upside down.
They don't always differentiate between left and right, but this one does. Right now I'm wearing knee pads for bicycling. They don't necessarily have to be made for skateboarding.
Yeah, you got to wear them inside, I think.
It doesn't matter.
It's a fashion statement, Daniel.
Fine.
You see now, look at the cool looks complete.
So now that I have safety gear on, I can do stuff like this. It doesn't hurt at all. I can If I fall without these stuff, then I'm gonna get injured. Safety gear is a good idea.
Doesn't take much to scuff your knee. Let me show you. This was 3 weeks ago. Still not healed. Should have worn knee pads. My bad.
Regular or goofy?
So now we're going to establish what your lead foot is. So there's the difference between goofy and regular. The way to test that is to put your hands in the air on a line and just fall forward naturally. I'm right foot forward.
Me
Daniel
too.
is right foot forward too, so he's
Yes.
goofy. So we do that 2 more times. Go for it. Okay, third time, go. Okay, so we're both right foot forward. That's great.
Beginner exercises.
For this video, we're mostly gonna be focusing on this type of board, this popsicle style board, which I am totally unfamiliar with. I've only spent like less than 5 minutes on this type of board.
So this is what I'm going to show you now. It's called a Primo stall. Primo stall, Primo stall. First of all, you put your balls of your feet on the wheels and use something to support yourself, just to get your balance right. Bend your knees, stabilize, arms out. See, I'm not great at this because I'm 62, but hey, there you go. Hands on the head, back down again. Go down to hands on the knees. Hands on the knees. Then even further down, keep the balance, keep it there and down, and touch the board and touch the back of the board, the grip tape, and up again. Ta-da! I made it. Now this is Daniel's attempt at doing what I just did. Go ahead, Daniel, do your best.
Okay.
It's not as easy as it looks, let me tell you.
Ooh. Oh.
Okay, bend your knees. That's the most important thing. Get your balance, center yourself. Good. The more you bend your knees, the lower the center of gravity you have. Put your hands on your head, Daniel. Hands on your hips. Hands on your knees. Bend down, touch the board. Hands between your legs. Keep going, keep going. You can do it. Look forward. Keep the head high on the horizon. Keep going. Yeah, it's not as easy for adults as it is for kids. I told you that.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
And slowly up again to full upright. Keep going. Yeah.
Yeah. All
My
right.
man, lesson 1 achieved.
Okay. Terrifying.
Tougher than you thought.
Yeah. Come off now?
Yeah, you can jump off.
All right.
Good. That's perfect.
Okay, I have a question. Obviously, there's going to be the fear of falling.
Yeah.
So, what happens if I fall? Like,
Well,
should it?
I'll just show you what happens when you fall. Stand up again. Get your balls of the feet and then go forward and just tip yourself forward a little bit that way. Ready?
Oh,
Trust
great.
me. There. You land on the board. Perfect. You see? It's not as scary as you think.
It's pretty
You
scary.
didn't expect that, did you?
No, I didn't expect that.
Because I have to show the kids that.
Okay.
Kick it and they go, oh, I landed. I made
Yeah.
it. So it's
Okay.
really not scary.
That was not too bad. All right.
So basically the Primo stall is a lot more difficult than it looks like, because even myself, I kind of get a bit nervous doing it. It's weird. But kids are much better at doing this than me. So if you do have a problem with it, which you may, if you're a little bit older, just do it at home, put the board on a carpet or try on a piece of grass or something and hold on to something, maybe a counter at home, and then just go down slowly and just get that right. And it's something you can do at home, even if it's raining outside, you can just like practice your Primo stalls, and that's a really good balance exercise. And over to the next whip pan. So now I'm going to teach you what I call bolts on, bolts off. This situation basically gets you stabilized for having your feet centralized on the board and basically directly above the trucks, which is the most stable place for your feet to be. I'll show you now. Bolts on, bolts off. Bolts on, bolts off. Bolts on, bolts off. Bolts on, bolts off. Bolts on. You see, I'm covering those bolts with my feet. And that's the thing you've got to get used to, is basically getting on the board, landing exactly in the right place you want to be before you skate off. Because later on I'll be teaching you how to jump on the board. Your feet have got to be ready to jump on that board and land in the right position, the right stance. If you do that 10 times, bolts on, bolts off, bolts on, bolts off, bolts on, bolts off, bolts on, bolts off. It really gets you used to having your feet on the board parallel. What a lot of people do is this. One, oh, you see? Leave that back. Daniel, now it's your turn. Make sure that both your feet jump at the same time and land at the same time. Don't give me a 1, 2.
Okay.
Because that is very insecure and unstable, because as soon as you get one foot on the board, it's going to slide left and right. Both feet on the board.
Okay.
Go for it, sir.
Okay.
Bolts on.
Oops,
Missed
I
the
missed.
bolts. Again. Bolts on. Good.
Yeah.
Bolts off. Bolts on. Good. Bolts off. More confident. Quicker. Bolts on. Bolts off. Bolts on. Bolts off. Okay, you're just using the balls of your feet. Your feet need to be over the edge, as if you're going to skate. Exactly, that's a good position.
Okay.
Good foot stance. Good.
Okay.
Bolts off. Bolts on. Bolts off. Bolts on. The man has it. Now
Okay.
to take that further, let me show you what I'll do now, is you take it further. You say bolts on, go forward and then back to it. Bolts on, bolts off, bolts on, bolts off. Your turn. Not as easy as it looks jumping backwards. Bolts on, bolts off. That's a good check. Good. Back that back. Good. On, off, bolts on, bolts off, bolts on, bolts off, bolts on, bolts off. Yeah. The man's got it. Here endeth the lesson of bolts on, bolts off. Thank you, Mr. Miyagi from Karate Kid 1984.
Question.
Yes.
What if this is too scary for me?
Well, you go against a good wall like this. I'll show you. Oh, I won't show you. I'll show you here, and that's the way to pick up a board. So you put the board against the wall, hands on the wall, bolts on, bolts off, bolts on, bolts off, bolts on, bolts off.
Would grass be another good
We
option?
could do that against a tree, whatever, yeah. Bolts on, bolts off, bolts on, bolts
Yeah,
off.
yeah, this is better because
Okay, yeah, more stable, I get that.
it's not going to move anywhere.
So maybe if you're struggling with the concrete and the wheels are moving too much for you, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
So now come forward and jump off the front as well. Bolts on, bolts off, bolts on, bolts off. You see already you're much more confident. So grass is an alternative. As I said, you could do it at home on carpet, which is going to do the same thing, not going to let the board roll away. So just progress as you feel more confident. Just don't go beyond your limitations. When you arrive at a park or on the street, wherever, you arrive cool and you leave cool. This is the board. You don't need to use your hands. This is how you arrive. You drop the board. Your knee is in the air as the board's in the air until you drop it. So then when you pick it up, like this, very cool as well, you don't need to use your hands on the board. A lot of people, they'll say, oh, there's my board, I'll pick it up. You look really stupid and amateurish, okay? You've got your feet right by the board all the time. Use your feet. Come behind it, pick the board up, done. And walk out. That's it. Come in, drop the board like this, 3, 2, 1, drop. The board's ready. Then you can put your foot on and go for your skate. Daniel, you want to show us, see what you can do?
Okay, so pick it up like this, right?
No, don't pick it up like this, Daniel. We've been through this. Don't use your hands, just your feet. Good. Dragging it's bad. It's got a bit cool. Swing it in the air. Grab it.
Grab it, and then what?
Yeah, one more time. Kind of, but not quite as slick as I've done it, but I've been doing it 50 years. What can I say? It doesn't have to bounce. Just take much more control of it. Drop it down again. Good. So as the board lands, you slam it down and it stops all 4 wheels. Good. Now do the swing, swing it, and grab it in the middle. Back, good. Not as cool as mine, but hey, hey! You're supposed to be walking out as you do this, okay?
All right, okay.
Okay, try again.
Okay.
1, 2,
Okay,
swing,
casual.
catch it.
Casual.
Yeah, almost there.
Yeah.
Exactly there, but just
Am I
needs a
cool
bit of
yet?
polishing. Come up behind the board, just stop it. Walk forward, grab, pick it up, walk away.
Okay.
Done. All in one smooth movement. There's a lot of
Okay.
practice. You can do this at home when it's raining.
All right.
You want to set off in the first place, you really want to use your feet again, foot control on the board. A lot of people will do this, they'll say, oh, I want to go over here. Why are you using your hands? Again, your foot is right there. So this point here is your fulcrum point on the back truck. So depending on the fulcrum point, is when you put your foot right back, you're going to get an aggressive look like that. Or your foot's right forward, and you can just get a little gentle lift. So when you put your foot on the board to a position where you want to go, I'm at 12 o'clock now, and I say I want to go over there. That's 2 o'clock. Then you can get on the board and just go. So just get used to using that fulcrum point, moving the board around, just with one foot. 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock. There, I want to go over here. Fine, I'm going.
Start skating.
So finally, we're going to get on the board. So my foot is my right foot, it's goofy. I need to put my foot in the middle of the board, exactly in the center, symmetrical. On top of the ball of your foot should be on the bolts. Now just get used to putting your weight on that one foot. Then slowly you can start to push. Don't put your other foot on, just keep pushing like a roller skate. Okay, Daniel. Your turn, sir.
Okay.
Good position.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like a roller skate. That's good. Try and keep it straight. No, don't put your foot on the back. Don't do that yet.
I'm actually gonna do it again, but I'm gonna try the other foot to because this is gonna kind of simulate what it's like to be a beginner.
Okay.
Oh. All right.
Yeah, that looked geeky enough.
Oh. Okay, let me try this way. Yeah, using my non-dominant foot is way harder.
When you're a complete beginner, especially as an adult, you may have difficulty balancing on one leg if your body is not accustomed to such activity. Keep practicing, but also work on your legs when you're not on a board. Building up your leg and feet muscles and doing balance exercises will help you progress more quickly.
So now we can do one foot pushing. We just need to drop the back foot onto the bolts, like this. And then turn your foot to have stability on the front and the back bolts. Simple enough. So when your foot's in there, rotate, straighten your foot again, step off the board.
So I'm goofy, so I'm gonna do this with my right leg in front. Should be pretty simple for me. And then after that, I'm gonna try my other leg in front, just so you guys can see what it's like as a beginner. So here I go. Okay, pretty simple. So now I'm gonna have my left leg in front, which should be a lot harder for me.
Yeah, it looks a lot more grummy. Yeah.
If you found this video helpful so far and want to keep learning, head over to our new channel, Skate Daddies. There, you'll find skate lessons provided by adults for adult beginners. You'll also find lessons on longboarding, which is, in Daniel's opinion, but Keith may disagree, a far more practical form of skateboarding and a viable alternative to bicycling. Whether you're starting to skate for fun, for your health, or just to be cool, we hope to see you over at Skate Daddies. Thanks for watching.